So let's say you checked out your range of motion and you cannot get your arms against the wall, but you would like to squat with the bar somehow. What do? So instead of doing a back squat, you could do front squat. So again, the front and back simply refer to the position of the bar. The back squat behind your head, right back here. Front squat is going to be resting across the shoulders in front of your head. So the mechanics are a little bit different between the two. You typically won't handle as much weight with a front squat, but some people prefer the front squat to the back squat, I being one of them. Back squats have never felt great, even though I have the range of motion, all that. Back squats have always just felt awkward for me. Front squats feel better for me, so I tend to do more of those. Now, with front squats, the trick is sort of the setup. It's not the most comfortable thing at first. It takes a little getting used to in terms of what do you do with your hands, how do you get yourself situated. So I'll show you a couple of different options you can do in regards to the front squat. So basically what you need to do is you need to get under the bar. So it's going to be on top of your shoulders. The bar is going to be very close to your throat, your neck. So, but your hand position can sort of mitigate that being a sort of a really big problem. So I, over the years, have experimented with a lot of different versions, variations of this. Sometimes what people do is more of like they'll kind of get into a position where they're up like this, which is fine if you have the range of, if you have the flexibility here. If your arms aren't too big, if you have really big arms, it's going to be tough to kind of bend your arms back and kind of get under the bar this way. So you can, that's one option. Another option is simply to go under the bar here, and I'll actually step out this way for you. So just getting in here, right? So here, the bar is resting on my shoulders, so I can cross this way, and then my hands hold the bar, and then it keeps it off my neck. And then the key with front squats is that when you squat down, you can't let your elbows drop, because then the bar is going to come rolling right down your arms onto the floor, your feet, or something else. So you can go this way, right? So you keep the elbows that way. One thing that I've done more recently that I like better is actually just doing this. So it's kind of like the first one, but it offers a lot more flexibility in terms of where you put your hands. And so to me, it's less stressful on my upper body. So here, and same idea, keep the elbows up and you squat down that way. Another option you could do if you have some kind of a wrist wrap or even a band is you tie it around and then you hold it up this way. So you basically hold the arms up here as you squat down. All of those are great options for the front squat, and the front squat is a great option if you want to get under the bar to squat but are unable to get into the back squat position. Another great option for squatting with a bar without doing back squats is using the yoke bar. If you have access to one of these, they are absolutely fantastic. So what they allow you to do, so check out the picture here, it allows you to get your hands out in front of your body even though the bar is behind you. So it solves kind of all the problems you have with the back squat because the bar is still behind you, so the load can be a little heavier, but your hands are out front here, so if you can't get into the position, no worries, the bar takes care of that for you. So the yoke squat, if you have access to a bar, is a phenomenal alternative. Now, one thing I will mention though is that you can see here the handles hang straight down. Why does that matter? What does that mean? Well, it means that the bar, when the bar is on your shoulders, the handles are going to want to drop down naturally. So it's going to want to pull you a little bit more into a rounded upper back position. So you do have to be mindful of that. You have to keep a little bit of, when you hold on to the handles, keep a little bit of upward kind of pressure, not so far where you throw it off your back, but enough where you kind of hold up here and don't get into this position as you go through the squat. So if you have access to a yoke bar for squats, even for lunges, it's an absolutely fantastic alternative to back squats. Another great option for squatting with weight without having to use the back squat or even a bar for that, for this example, is a goblet squat. So I think, because you hold your the weight this way, I'm guessing it's because your hands kind of look like a little bit of a goblet, maybe. So what does a goblet squat look like? So check out the video here. Basically, you hold the weight here, cradle it against your chest, go through your range of motion, can be used with or without a box. You can load it up, actually fairly heavy. Goblet squats are great. It's actually the first sort of progression after sort of body weight box squats. This is where I go with all my clients, teach them how to squat with their body weight first, Then we give them the dumbbell, we practice their goblet squats, and it allows them to load up in a safe way, and it still allows us to work on all the little pieces of the technique that we've talked about along the way here. But it's a great alternative to squatting, especially if you have trouble getting into that sort of back squat position. Try the goblet squat.